Alright, so this is going to be the final part of my Best of It Next Fest of October 2025 edition. This will include all the games that I played after all the streaming was done, and there's still quite a lot of demos to go through. So hope you enjoy this final grouping of amazing indie game demos. We're starting things off with House 2. This is the sequel to the very kind of like hidden gem of time loop horror. In the first game, we had to survive our house coming to life and killing everyone. And now in the sequel, well, it's happening again. Brand new curse, brand new house, and even more ways to die horribly. And as a very important point, if you are squeamish, this is definitely not the game to play. While the first game was all pixel art, this definitely has a greater art upgrade, and that means even more brutal displays of getting killed. Like the first game, our structure here is that you're trapped in a loop. At specific times, things are going to happen and make things very deadly for you. Your job is to figure out how to survive and find all the necessary clues and items to do so. The demo itself kind of occupies as a prologue, featuring just one night or kind of one set of events. Now, while the basics remain the same, one thing that I was a little bit concerned about is that it feels like it's going to be more kind of action focused. And what I mean by that, in the first game, you had quote-unquote boss fights you had to deal with, or specific enemy fights, and there's usually like a puzzle means or a puzzle solution to quickly kill that. From the demo, even though I did everything correct puzzle-wise, it still required kind of dealing with almost like the jankiness of the melee combat. I'm hoping that things are a little bit more, I guess, like puzzle-friendly in the main game. So this comes with a recommendation that if you're looking for a very challenging and very murderous-filled horror game, I would give this one a try. And if you did miss out on the first house and don't mind some pixel art related nastiness, then I will also give that one a try as well. And we switch things up for a little bit more lightheartedness with Goblin Sushi. This is a mix of a deck builder and a kind of light, like restaurant sim, like diner dash style. You're a goblin running a sushi joint, and it's your job to keep all the monsters happy, fed, and of course pay your rent on time. Our kind of gameplay twist here is that every time you kind of raise your experience level up enough, you'll get to choose from one of 3 upgrades. These upgrades can do everything from adding new items to your menu, new ways or combos to get more money, provide quality of life features, etc, etc. And your job is to build a convincing strategy to keep your money flowing while making sure that everyone is being happily fed. It's an interesting idea, but I do have a few concerns from the demo. One, it is very slow, as you can watch the food slowly go down that track. And you can have the situation where it's so slow that you can't have enough people get in and still feed the person at the end of the line, unless you get the lucky upgrade that lets you swap the direction of the belts. I'm interested to see how this one's going to develop, but I am again wondering how much will there be of actual strategy other than just go for whatever is the highest moneymaker and that's it. So still a great concept for a game. I would recommend this if you're looking for a very different and I guess sushi filled take on a deck builder. Now we go to Saga of Yurina. This is a fan game based on, I think, the Secure series, but I'm not 100% sure. But what we have here is a parry action focused game, where your job is to complete each room by slicing and parrying your way through. Enemies have a stagger meter. Every time you perfectly parry them, you'll build it up, and when it fills all the way, they become stunned, allowing you to do additional damage. The demo itself was quite short, and I'm not quite sure like how far they're going to be going in terms of level or enemy complexity, but the basics here were very solid. So if you are an action fan looking for a very streamlined and very slash-filled take of it, I would at least give this one a try. Now we go to Hermit and Pig. This is a JRPG where you play as Hermit along with his pet and best friend, a pig, who I guess is named Pig. While the two love living alone and eating mushrooms, they stumble upon a massive conspiracy that threatens the very town and forest they live in, along with some magic blue mushrooms that you probably shouldn't just wander around and eat if you find in the environment. Our gameplay is that of a JRPG. As you explore the woods, you'll get into turn-based battles with the various bugs and critters that are around. The gameplay is about you using the right attack against them, so different attacks will do more or less damage. Now, the basic of this is kind of an action command style where you need to input the right combo in order to initiate the attack. You can disable that and just input the actual attack. And I think overall, I found it to be a little bit snappier to play, especially once you get into a lot more combat. I really like the art style, and the vibes in this one are very well done. You'll be able to acquire different passive items that you can equip. There will be, of course, a huge amount of enemies to go for. Your pig will eventually join in the battles to help you, and it just feels like a really great idea and solid time. So if you enjoy mushrooms, the elderly, or just hanging out with your pet pig in the wilderness, then you should definitely give this one a play. And now we go to the remake of the end of the greatest RPG of all time. In this, you play the greatest RPG of all time, a game we all remember from our youth. That amazing RPG that puts to shame the horrible titles like Clair Obscur, Undertale, and Final Fantasy. Your goal is to make it through the final hour of the game. Now, in actuality, this is a puzzle/adventure game in the form of a JRPG. Using the handy and ripped apart in-game manual, you must figure out how to solve puzzles, get past different encounters, and break the fourth wall in quite a lot of spots. And it reminds me, even with the having its own in-game manual, of something like Tunic, which I'm fairly sure developers have never heard of or played at all. So the puzzle logic here is built around you using the clues you find in the world and in your manual in order to get past the puzzles. And while things start out as kind of your standard JRPG battles, it quickly goes in very different places. My only real complaint is that I think the controls could have been explained a little bit better, especially being able to swap between different characters and use their different abilities. I like that you can pull up the in-game manual whenever you want, and this game is definitely going to have a very deep rabbit hole to explore. So if you enjoy a lot of meta-commentary, RPGs, and adventures, I would give this one a try, and I'm really looking forward to diving more back into the remake of the end of the greatest RPG of all time in the future. And speaking about kind of modern retro remakes and all that, our next game is Idosra the Electric Renaissance. This is a game that is meant to capture kind of the late 80s, early 90s DOS aesthetic, with some great music as well. Our gameplay here is described as an action-adventure RPG. I guess the simplest way to do it would be more of a stage-based Metroidvania. It is many years in the future, and electricity is finally coming back to a post-apocalyptic world. But there are evil things about, and it's up to us to figure things out, punch, jump, and throw things to get through puzzles, and even learn a few things from a variety of books. Our progression in this one is quite interesting. Your score is also your experience, and as you complete side quests or just find out about things in the world, you'll be able to upgrade your wisdom. This is your kind of like character or account level. When you find books, if you have enough experience and wisdom, you can level up or read them in order to unlock, well, something. All the books are essentially your Metroidvania upgrades, and there are a whole lot. You'll gain the ancient power of looking up and down, being able to hang on ledges, punch harder, jump, and many more. And it's a very endearing style for a game like this. While the first couple of levels you'll be able to do everything in them on your first go, the later levels will require you to return once you've unlocked different skills, which will let you go down a different path, get more skills, and the Metroidvania continues. I like the kind of use of the portrait arts, and there's some great humor along with this. I'm not sure will be in the main game, but was featured in the demo. There's definitely potential here for anyone who likes a stage-based focused Metroidvania. I'm certainly looking forward to seeing more of this game when it is released. So, this is definitely a hidden gem for any Metroidvania fan watching, and you should really check this one out if you're looking for a old/new good time. And now we go do some point-and-click adventure with Uncle Lee's Cookbook, 5 Recipes for Disaster. This is a point-and-click game in the style of the LucasArts, where you'll be exploring, picking up lots of items, and of course, hearing lots of jokes and puns. Our concept here is that the game is split into 5 self-contained episodes, basically dealing with different realities, different time periods, etc. You playing as the same person, but in different periods. So our gameplay again is just classic point-and-click adventure. You'll explore, talk to a lot of wacky characters, collect MacGuffins, and of course try and solve any and all puzzles that stop you from seeing the end of the story. The game definitely has charm to it, and I didn't get a chance to really see how the different episodes will play out, if there's any difference in the puzzle logic or puzzle design, but the one that I did play was quite charming. So if you are a point-and-click adventure game fan looking for some, multiversal puzzles to solve, then definitely give this one a try. And now we go to Obelus Manor. This is a RPG maker dungeon crawler. You play as one of several unfortunate souls who have wandered into a spooky mansion. And unfortunately, this place is haunted, and they are going to try and keep you there for the rest of your eternal life. In order to survive, you must find multiple artifacts, defeat the evil creatures that are in control, and trying to lose your mind in the process. The main game appears to be a handmade dungeon, but there is a randomized or roguelike mode option as well. The gameplay is going to be just your basic exploration, and then you'll get into turn-based combat where you'll need to manage your health, sanity, and psyche if you want to defeat the different enemies. I like the theming of this one. Now, if you're hoping for a Fear and Hunger, look outside, very super difficult RPG, this one doesn't feel as punishing, at least on the normal setting or the base one that I played as. But I do like the look of it, and I'm interested to see what they'll do for the roguelike mode or harder options. So if you're in the mood for a little bit of spookiness for Halloween and looking for a demo and game to check out, then I would at least give this one a go. And now we go to Requiem of Reuinis, which I'm pretty sure I just butchered. This is in the style of a Magic Tower, desktop dungeons, very RPG persistent heavy style game. Our story is that we are exploring a cave looking for all kinds of resources, information, and more. And we're going to use a lot of progression and persistence in order to do that. If you're unfamiliar with the desktop dungeons, Magic Tower, Tactical Nexus style, this is where you will just bump into an enemy and then your stats will basically do everything for you. You'll do damage based on your attack stat, you'll take damage based off of your defense. And your mission is to go as far as you can into the dungeon. When you restart, the dungeon will repopulate, except for treasure chests. Those are only one-timers. Now, where this game really works for me, it's very dangerous for someone like me, is how the persistence works. Each day, you'll assign different items to your magic cave/factory. Those will determine the resources that you'll pump out. These resources are used to unlock and upgrade permanent upgrades and perks that you'll get access to. Those will do everything from raise your base stats, unlock new equipment you can wear, new features, new items you can manufacture, and you get the picture. So using these upgrades, they will allow you to go further into the dungeon, meaning you'll get access to more resources. When you kill enough enemies of a certain type each day, they will also drop a specialty resource, which can then be used for further upgrades. And then perhaps one of the smartest things I've seen yet from this kind of genre, instead of having to replay each and every day, the game will record your kind of each run that you do. And provided you have enough resources built, you can just have the game auto-run them to kind of get you those resources and just focus more on persistence when you need be, and then go back in once you have all your accumulated upgrades, make more progress, have a better run, and you get the picture. As I said, this is the kind of game that is very bad for someone like me, because I spent about like an hour or so in this demo, and I was really enjoying it. This is certainly not going to be the game for everyone. Again, this is heavily built on roguelike progression. And if you're not a fan of this kind of style of more of a hands-off RPG, it is not going to do it for you. But if you enjoy the kind of tactical nexus, magic tower style of gameplay and progression, then you can definitely look at this one, but don't, again, come crawling back to me if you just play this for like 2 to 3 hours and it just went by in an instant. So, for me, this is a very high recommendation, and definitely one of my favorites I got a chance to play. And we're back with more point-and-click adventuring with Shadows of the Afterland. This is another kind of LucasArts style point-and-click adventure. When a maid in 1960s Madrid ends up killing herself, we arrive in her body from the, I think, 80s or 90s as a detective. Why did our spirits get mixed? How did we die? And how many items are we going to have to pick up in order to solve this mystery? Like our previous adventure game on our list today, this one is in, again, the style like the LucasArts, where you'll wander around, meet with more wacky people, and try and solve these puzzles, all with a kind of supernatural edge to them. I like how fast the game moves, which is helped by the fact that no one here has any feet, as we're all just floating around. The story is certainly interesting, as you're trying to figure out again how you died and why you're in a different body. Puzzle logic here will once again revolve around trying to figure out just what items are going to fit within the wacky assortment of puzzles. And from what I played of this one, I would say it's going to be like maybe moderate to moderately challenging. Again, if you played, all the Monkey Island games and stuff like that, this should be right up your alley. Still, another very charming adventure game. I like the details of like the animation, of course, all the background art as well. So, for more point-and-click adventuring on our list today, if you're in the mood for it, then I have another solid recommendation for you. We have another surprisingly solid demo up next with the Fable Manga Build Roguelike. This is based off of the manga The Fable, which I have no experience in whatsoever. But I am quite familiar when it comes to roguelikes, and in this case we have, as the name implies, a manga builder. It's a similar style to that of fights in tight spaces, where your job is to survive one versus many encounters, with characters coming at you from all sides. Your moves are based off of manga panels that will depict different actions. So, just like with reading a manga, your flow will go from top right corner to bottom left. So it's not left to right, it's right to left. So the order that you place the panels will affect what gets done first. Instead of taking damage, each hit during your turn will put a hole in your panel that will repair over the next turn. The twist, of course, is that you only have 5 pages, aka 5 turns, to deal with all the enemies in the stage. So it comes down to positioning and figuring out where you need to be on the field in order to deal as much damage as you can. Each one of the game's characters will have different rules and of course different panels that go with them. The one from the demo can use both fist and gun, provided you reload those bullets. And you'll be able to upgrade panels. There's kind of cute little mini games you can play as well, and I was really enjoying it. Now, the difficulty in this, of course, that you only have 5 turns, and you can normally kind of redo or reshuffle your page once per match. So having a very optimized deck is important. If you get all your gun panels but no bullets, you're in trouble. Just as if you get all fist cards or fist panels, but you didn't draw any of your movement ones, so you can't get close to the enemy. Still, really great system, and much of it fights in tight spaces. It can be just really amazing to watch it all flow once you get it going. So if you're in the mood for a little bit different of a deck builder, another very high recommendation, and I really do want to play more of this one when it is released. And now we go to Humanica. This is a city builder where we are in the ancient prehistoric times. It is your job to take your tribe of cavemen and women and try to build a successful settlement, make sure everyone has housing, food, and of course can survive those nasty winters. The gameplay here is going to be on kind of like your basic city building side. You don't have to worry about roads connecting to anything, and it's mainly going to be focusing on resource collection and allocation. There are a lot of items you'll need to collect that can then be refined or used to produce different goods. You have your lovely tech tree that will unlock additional buildings, additional jobs, and of course move things along. And this one felt like it's going to be on the fairly, I would say, standard or average side in terms of difficulty. As long as you get like goods or gifts at the start, you can kind of quickly get enough of the basic resources to survive, and then it's just a matter of unlocking more and more, exploring the world. Now there is combat in this one, but it's kept again very basic RTS. Give everyone a weapon, left click to select, right click on the enemy, and you're done. I'm not sure how far they're going to go in terms of technology. I doubt this is going to turn into like a civilization where we're going to be going for tanks, helicopters, and spaceships at some point in the future. But still a very charming take on the city building style. So if you're in the mood for some ancient city building, then I would at least give this one a try. And for the final game of this very long series, we go to Nighthawks. This is a kind of take off of like mixing like Sunless Sea, Sunless Skies with that of Vampire the Masquerade, which is by no coincidence, as the lead designer of this worked on the Sunless Sea and that kind of style at Fable. But this is a world where vampires have finally been exposed, and you have come to a city that is welcoming to some extent of them. You are also in search of the person who killed the vampire that turned you, and you are now given free reign to explore the city, meet friends, meet enemies, and try to live your undead life the best that you can. As with the Sunless Sea and that particular formula, you'll build your character at the start from different backgrounds. This will affect what choices you're best suited for, how you will respond to certain events, and so on. And then you are free to run around however you see fit. Going to different places and meeting people will of course take up time, and as a vampire you're not going to be too active during the daytime hours. Now this is of course going to be a mature take, so expect lots of cursing, murder, and more to come with this. The game definitely has style, with a lot of voice acting and some very solid portrait art for everyone. There will be multiple endings and routes for you to go down. And if you're a fan of the Sunless Sea, again, like Fallen London style of like a narrative RPG, then it's a very easy recommendation. If you're someone who's looking for, like a Vampire the Masquerade, where you're going to be running around punching and biting people all over the place, this is probably not going to be the game for you. But still a very interesting story, and I'm interested to see where it will all lead when it is released. So this goes with our final recommendation from Next Fest of October of 2025. And with that, we are done. The list is finished and we are caught up until at least the next Fest, which will probably be in 2026. What are some of your favorite demos from the event? And when we took your game for a future stream, showcase, or video, please get in touch. With that, it's finally time for me to rest my voice, and we'll be back with more indie games and more game design videos coming real soon. Thanks for watching, and a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you enjoyed the video, do the YouTubing stuff, be sure to visit our Discord and Patreon, and if you're interested in more of my thoughts on design, check out my game design books.